Here's how I would rewrite AI outputs to not sound like everybody else, especially if you're doing executive communications. Now, you might wonder why on earth would I even bother editing AI output if I could just write it myself? I prefer to just write it myself, but the truth is times have changed. People are using AI and they're not using it correctly and they don't know that. So here are a few tips to help you avoid typical AI-isms and pitfalls if you are not familiar with them. Because those of us who have been using it and tinkering with it for the last 2 years or so, we can spot these a mile away. M dashes. M dashes are not inherently wrong. There's nothing wrong with them. They are not on their own a telltale sign of AI because I've been using them for more than 2 decades. The problem is AI tends to overuse M dashes. The point of using these dashes is to create a sharp turn to abruptly go somewhere else in your writing, which is fine until you use it multiple times in one paragraph or one passage. Then it's not effective anymore. Instead, consider using a period, comma, or even parentheses to do what you need to do and save the M dashes for when they're really, really necessary. Most of the times they're not. Next would be deleting unnecessary punctuation. Another thing that AI has a love affair with, ChatGPT more so than Claude, but both of them, even DeepSeek, is commas. Too many commas and ellipses, the dots in a sentence. They tend to over punctuate sentences, which slows them down or creates a sense of suspense. But the suspense is fake. We don't believe it, especially multiple times in a paragraph. So watch out for sentences that read like this. However, in today's fast-paced world with technological advances, many companies, this line is a train wreck. It's all over the place. Just say AI killed the 5-year plan, so on and so on. Multiple sentences, no need for all the drama. Next is getting rid of the cliche closing questions. Again, there's nothing wrong with ending with a question. The problem is when the question is just kind of thrown out there arbitrarily. It doesn't have any value. Most people are not going to respond to it. It's just wasting space. If your content was enough to resonate with people, if it triggered emotions, if it sparked controversy, if it made them laugh, people will usually respond on their own or they'll react. But if you really do want to end with a question, make it a question that's hard to ignore. That's the difference. If it's arbitrary and just thrown out there like, so what do you think? Well, I think I'm gonna keep scrolling by this post. This is boring. Next is remembering to vary your sentence lengths and structures. AI, again, is too neat. It's running like a marathon at the same pace the whole time, as if you don't need to slow down sometimes or speed up. It's singing the song with one note over and over and over again. Mix it up. Make it unpredictable, make it lyrical. Some sentences need to be short, maybe some need to be long. Some may only be one word. Some may break a grammatical rule. Know the rules before you break them. But this is what I mean. AI can feel overly polished and it can feel a bit plastic because we don't actually communicate like that. We have emotion. We go up and down. We slow down, we speed up, and that should be reflected in good writing. Many more people are coming on board to AI now who have not been using it for a while, and they may not realize these isms, I hesitate to call them telltale signs because sometimes people are flagging things that are AI and they may not be, but there are some ways to tell if you have been using it for a while like I have been, and these are some pitfalls to avoid. What you want to do is just have great writing. Whether you use AI or not shouldn't necessarily matter because in the end, if it's a great piece, it's a great piece. If you have all these cliches and punctuation that's not necessary, there are people who don't use AI who write like that too. So there's that. What you want is great writing. So I guess you could say these are global rules, but if you're specifically going to be editing something, if you have clients that give you something like, sometimes I get, can you make this sound more like me, right? They can't figure out why it doesn't sound like them. It sounds like the generic base of everybody on the internet because AI wrote it. So you want to put some personality into it, put some soul into it, put some heart into it, put you into it, and then edit from there. Feel free to follow me for more communication tips, whether AI related or not. I'm happy to continue sharing these. I share them in all mediums. For those who like to read, there's a text version of this that already went out. For those who prefer video, well, this is for you. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next time.